Building a time wealth business is not about getting rich. It's about creating a balance of time and money so you can get back to doing the things you love most, whether it be spending more time with your family, traveling, learning new skills, or whatever you want. So the real question is, how exactly do you go about creating a time wealth business? Well, that's what this channel is all about, and each episode will give you another piece of the puzzle. And as a thank you for tuning in, I've put together a special presentation entitled The 8 Steps to Build Your Time Wealth Business. You can get it for free at www.timewealthsecrets.com/8-steps-free. See you in there.
Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Time Wealth Secrets. I'm your host Sam Fury. It's another beautiful day here in Rio. I got like a week left. Today I'm going to talk about a couple of how I got scammed, right? And how you can avoid it. If you listen semi-regularly, you would have, I talked a couple of days ago about how I got scammed, right? I hired some guy off Facebook to help me build out the new website, which is, by the way, is completed now. Like the general structure, it all works and it's all good. And I had a few problems figuring out how to make the HTTPS or the redirects or whatever, but that's now all sorted. So the website for SF Nonfiction Books is completely fixed, and so is Survival Fitness Plan is completely fixed too. So I did get a lot done in the last couple of days. And right now, me and my associate are putting the final steps on making the first sales funnel on SF Nonfiction Books, which is exciting because it's on a new platform. So hopefully we'll be ready by the end of today or the end of tomorrow at the very, very latest, and actually have ads run into it. So that's good. So I've been writing down all these processes in the Time Wealth Secrets, and hopefully it won't be too long before I actually have like a pretty fledged course out, so then I can start doing case studies. And I might actually offer out case studies to listeners or to people on my list, which I don't even know how many. I don't even know if anyone listens to this, to be fair. But if you do and you want to be a case study, you can go sign up to get the eight free things, and then I'll probably blast an email out to that list. I don't even know how big that list is. It's probably like 10 people, but whatever. All right. Today's episode: how I got scammed and how you can avoid it. So basically, this is the story. I needed to build a new website on a new platform, right? And I needed to swap everything over. And while I was swapping it over, I was like, might as well change it up a bit and fix it up. So I hired this guy off Facebook out of one of these ClickFunnels groups, right? Because I don't know, I trust the group in ClickFunnels. I'm not sure why. So my guard was let down a little bit, I guess, because I just trusted them, right? I didn't have my usual defenses of like, oh, I shouldn't do this, I shouldn't do that. So basically he come up and he's like, oh, I can do that. And it sounded like pretty good. And he sent me a like a design. And I was like, that design looks pretty good. And he's like, I can do it for all of them, blah, blah, blah. And I said, are you sure you can do that? It's a lot of work. You sure it's only like, I think it was like $1,000. Like, you sure it's only like $1,000 is enough? Do you want money? He's like, yeah. And so it seemed like a really good deal. And I guess now looking back onto it in hindsight, if it's too good to be true, it probably is. So there's a first lesson, which wasn't even a planned lesson, right? But so he did it, and it was like, give me a $500 deposit. So I did that. And the other thing was I was super busy at the time, and I still am, I guess. And so I didn't really think much about it. I was like, all right, $500 deposit, do it, just get it done. And then he said it'll take 7 days. And at the start, I was thinking 7 days it's a lot of work, just 7 days. But anyway, so 7 days come, and I was like, oh, how's it going? He's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. He tells me, I was like, all right, have it a little bit longer, whatever. Then eventually it was like 3 weeks, right? And I'm like, this guy's 2 weeks late. I said, oh, no. And then after like 7 or 10 days or something, he said, all right, it's all ready. Send me the rest of the money and I'll upload it to you. So now this is at this stage, I really should have caught on, because I didn't even have proof. Like, he showed me a screenshot of a design, but I mean, what that's that? It's like half an hour work or whatever. And then I paid him. And then after that, he just like kept stringing me along. And then finally after the 3rd week, I was like, listen, I need it now. Put something, anything, just put anything up. And then he hasn't messaged me back since. And that was like a week ago. And then in this last week, I've pretty much built built both the websites out, and but so there's a few lessons from that I want to talk to you about first, and then all right. So the first one is always try to do things yourself first. I don't know why I didn't try to do it myself first, because in reality it would have got done way faster. And when you tell someone, like, this is what I know, as I was making it myself, I was like, it's actually pretty lucky that he didn't complete it, because actually I changed a lot of it as I was going in, as I was making it. I was like, actually, you know what? I don't want it to be the way that I explained it to him. I want it this way now instead. So it's always best to do it yourself first. Also, when you do something yourself first, you get a feel of how it works. So then you can better explain what you want, right? And then when things go wrong, you can fix it. Like, you know how to fix it in the knowledge. You don't have to hire someone and wait for them to fix it. If an emergency happens, you already have the knowledge and familiarization with it. Now, it's fair enough if you do something first and you're like, all right, I don't want to keep doing this, right? Then go hire someone. So you do it yourself first, figure out the best methods, and then hire, which is actually what I've pretty much done until like recently. For some reason, the last few months, I've been like, let's outsource everything, and I think it's a bad idea. It's always good to do stuff first. So usually what happens, if I do it first and then I make a workflow, and then I repeat it and make the workflow better and better, and then eventually I'm like, listen, I don't want to do this anymore. Let's get someone else to do it. The workflow looks good, and then they do it, right? That's how I usually do stuff. And that works well, and that's what I'm going to go back to now. It's more work, but at least it gets done the way I want it and the proper way, and because no one cares more about your business than you do, right? If I tell someone, just make a workflow for this, or like do it, and then tell me they're like, it's going to be half-assed. I might be there full-assed, but it might not be up to my standard, right? So there you go. I mean, not to say that like there are a lot of good people out there. Like one of a girl that I use to do my social media, I made the first one, right? And I sent it to her, and she's improved it, right? And she's really proactive and improved it, but she still had the base to go off. If I'd probably had just gone, all right, this is your job, go do that. Unless it's a hired professional, maybe it's like they don't do it the way that you want to do it, or it's not as efficient, or it's just not what you want. They don't send out the right messages and all that sort of stuff. So always try to do stuff yourself first. All right. The second thing is, if you do decide to hire someone, always use a reputable platform, right? Especially if they're strangers. If you know them already, well then fine. But if they're strangers, always use a reputable platform. My big mistake here was I used Facebook, right? I hired someone straight off Facebook. Yeah, I was in a group that I trusted the people, which was a mistake. And it's generally, I guess it's cheaper hiring from the group sometimes, not always. But that was definitely a mistake, because there's no protection, right? If you use something like Upwork or freelancers.com, they've got the protection in place where if the person doesn't deliver, you don't have to pay them, right? And then they feel safer as well, because the money's in escrow, so it's there, right? And you can, if you refuse to pay them, they can like form a dispute and say, I delivered all this work or whatever, blah, 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 blah. So use a reputable platform. With Facebook, like I gave them money, and then afterwards, like my mistake was to give him the rest of the money. I should have said upload it first and then I'll give you the rest of the money, right? But let's say he was legit. I can understand his fear, because he might upload it and then I'll be like, all right, that's it, see you later. I've got the work. I'm not going to give you the rest of the money, right? But they don't have that fear with freelancers either. And like it works both ways. Like I don't have to pay until the work's done, so they can show me the work and then whatever. All right, so use reputable platforms. And the last thing, which I already mentioned a few times, is don't pay before completion, which was my biggest mistake, because maybe he even had like a lot of the work done, but because I paid him, he's like, oh, whatever. Even I found this with like, this is not just like internet, this is like with everybody pretty much. If you pay someone, as soon as you pay them, they don't care anymore. Like for a lot of people, it's even like in the general market, right? You'll get like really good customer service, blah, 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 blah. And then as soon as you pay them, they're like, oh, whatever. I've already got the money, it doesn't matter. It's like a tradie working on your house, a tradesman. If you haven't paid them yet, they'll build that wall in like 2 days. But if you pay them on the first day, they might not bother coming back. But it's not that they'll rip you off. They might come back like 3 weeks later, because they've already got your money, so they don't really care. So there you go. So that is my tips for how to not get ripped off on the internet. But then also, don't lose faith in people, right? Like it's a shame that there's people out there that'll scam you or whatever. But I tend to look on the good side of people. So most aren't scammers. But then on the flip side, don't be naive about it either. So protect yourself. Don't trust people full on. Like, give them the benefit of the doubt, but then don't go all in. Right? That's it. That's it for today. I hope you've learned something. I certainly have. And hopefully it won't happen again. But of course it will, because there's no way I'm not going to get scammed again in my life. I get scammed all the time. All right. I'll speak to you later. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to Time Wealth Secrets. I hope you found some value in this episode. If you did, please like and share it so more people can discover it and learn how to build their own time wealth business. And if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you can be notified as soon as the latest episodes are released. Finally, remember to claim your free presentation entitled The 8 Steps to Build Your Time Wealth Business. You can get it for free at www.timewealthsecrets.com/8-steps-free. See you next time.